welcome back to my channel. It's Devin. How's it going? Today, I have something very special in store for you. I'm going to be reading scary ghost stories. Dun dun dun. So, I frequently watch ghost story videos where somebody reads ghost stories that are found online. So, I went online and I discovered some ghost stories. So let's just jump right into the stories. Number 1. It's titled My Dad Started Noticing Weird Things with Me. It's creepy. When I was 3, my parents moved us into a new neighborhood. The house was nice, but kinda old. The neighborhood was an old 50s tract home area. So it had a varied group of people living there. As soon as we moved in, my dad started noticing weird things with me. He would hear me giggling and laughing in my room, and whenever he went in and asked what was so funny, I would tell him that the kids were being funny. He would also come in to wake me up and find me curled up in the closet. Why were you curled up in the closet? Weird. This happened over and over again, but my parents didn't think much of it because I was a pretty imaginative kid. That was a big word. Got a little tongue-tied. The thing that wigged them out the most was that I flat out refused to walk out the front door. I would scream and yell and cry until one of my parents carried me in and out of the house, not the closet. The closet thing was still in my brain. When you walk in the front door, to the right there is a closet, and to the left there is a low brick wall that separated the front door from the living room. It was about 4 feet high and about 3 feet long, just a room divider, but I never touched it or wanted to be near it. After we had lived there for a few months, my dad started making some renovations to the house. Among them was demolishing the wall. My parents dropped my brother and I with our grandparents the day they were going to do it, so that we wouldn't be underfoot. What does that mean? I don't know. Okay, I guess not in the house when they're doing it. I don't know big words like that. We didn't end up going home for a week. When my dad knocked down the wall, he called the police. Inside the brick wall were bones that turned out to be from children. The cops never did figure out who put them there. The house had been owned by a lot of people, many of them who had rented it out. So it is just one of the many weird things that happened in my town that was never figured out. Yeah, 'cause that's not terrifying. You found bones of children. Oh my god. What happened in that house? Next, I felt wind on my back. I was walking through the Presser Hall at Hollins University alone. My wife was on the campus meeting with some of her friends who went there with her. It was in late May and classes were all over, and there were few people around. I had heard that this hall was pretty haunted and went to see it. I walked through the entire place, both stories, and I didn't see anyone around. On my way out, I decided to try an EVP with my phone recorder. I had asked if anyone had something to say. Right before the exit was a women's bathroom. The door was propped open with a doorstop, so I went in, turned around, and left. On my way out, I felt wind on my back and realized that the door had closed and followed me out, but didn't quite shut all the way. I didn't hear the door scuff at all, and it was still in place. After that, I was too weirded out to stick around. Yeah, I'd be weirded out too. The doorstop didn't move, but the door did. Ooh, that one scares me. As I stopped under the streetlight, it flickered off. I was at a red light, and up ahead I saw some sort of ghost dog cross the street, and it disappeared. It was slightly transparent, and it moved effortlessly, like it was gliding almost. I discovered via the internet it is frequently observed and known as a, excuse my bad word, a hellhound. I went back there approximately an hour later to look for it, and as I stopped under the streetlight, it flickered off. I blank you not. That led me to believe that there are times when we are in some sort of heightened state where we can peer into other realms. That's a weird story. Why did the streetlight flicker off? I don't want to know. I never found it. I walked into my bedroom with a couple of oranges to snack on. I tossed one lightly onto my bed. It landed in the middle, didn't bounce up, but appeared to vanish into the bedspread. I never found it. It didn't end up behind or under the bed. Then where did it go? Did it just go poof, gone into thin air? I heard this loud crash come from the doorway. I was in my room when I heard this loud crash come from the doorway of my home. I went out to where it was, and I saw that an angel sculpture had fallen onto the floor. The thing is that this sculpture string was placed on a metal hook, and the only way for it to be taken down is taking the string and pulling it up and over the hook. There's no way that it would just fall. The string would have to be compromised. It wasn't. I didn't think much of it until I looked at the settings on my iPhone, because I wanted to see how much space I had left. I was planning on going somewhere and taking lots of videos. The space left was 6.66 gigabytes. I couldn't help but think of the whole "the devil was a fallen angel" thing. It was pretty creepy. Ooh, that one makes me uncomfortable. Why was the settings the devil's number? He is a total pal. I have Gregory the friendly ghost. He often locks the door and turns off the lights when I'm too lazy to do so. He is a total pal. Gregory locks the door. I heard footsteps on the floor above. I was inspecting a vacant home, and as I was finishing up, I heard footsteps on the floor above. I was about to leave when I heard it, so I recorded it and then booked it out of there. That's a big note for me. Oh, and they have a link to the recording. Hold on, I actually want to go to the link. Ooh. Well, I can't really hear anything. Hold on, it says to use speakers or headphones. Hold on, I'm gonna get reach. Okay, I'm gonna get my headphones, because I actually want to see if I can actually hear anything. So I just put one in. Oh, heck no. Nah. Oh, heck to the no. No, what? That was so creepy. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was so creepy. Alright, I gotta get back to where I was. I felt a cold breath on my hand. I have eye migraines, which means I see an aura but don't feel pain. I was lying in bed seeing shadows move around the walls, thinking maybe I was having a migraine. I really think I was. On the wall next to me was a static shadow, stranger than the others. I was wondering why this shadow was static while the others moved with my eyes. I suddenly felt a cold breath on my hand. At that moment, my hand was too far from my face to have been my own breath. I freaked out and told my boyfriend to go to bed with me. Not sure if it was paranormal, but it was quite disturbing. If I felt a breath on my hand, bye. You can have the house. Nice knowing you. Later. Peace. My dog started barking like crazy. Oh, it's always said that dogs can see the paranormal when you can't. I heard someone shaking my locked door in the middle of the night. For about a minute, it woke me up. I opened the door and my dog started barking like crazy, looking down the stairs. That's where my room is. Although she's usually asleep on a bed at the end of the upstairs hallway. Woke up my dad and went downstairs. He's on the 3rd floor. I'm on the 2nd. We went to the 1st. And all the doors were locked. The living room light was on. Also, I have a doorway separating 2 sides of my room, and I hang a mirror box that can be opened to store jewelry and trinkets. It makes a distinct noise if you quickly move it or shake it. I heard someone shaking it a few weeks ago, and it woke me up. Next morning, the baseball bat I keep next to my bed was on the ground. That was really weird because the bat was leaning against the wall and the bottom part was inside a box, instead of a box filled with junk. In the morning, it was completely on the floor, but the box was untouched. But I don't really care as long as it's not a robber. You should be worried. I heard a woman whisper. Honestly, this was probably just an in-between sleep and in-between awake thing. But like 20 times this year, I heard a woman whisper around the corner of my bedroom near the bathroom. Only 2 moments it sounded like more than sighs or spooky mumbles. One was my name, and the other was, I don't think you should do that. Like I said, pretty sure it's just sleepy hallucinating, but still creepy. There's an editor note. As if the story isn't scary enough, user, blah blah blah. Comments adds a gem. My immediate thought is that since you were essentially sleeping, you weren't doing anything, which opens the possibility that whatever said, I don't think you should do that, could have been talking to someone or something else. That, no, I don't like that. That scares me. The look on her face was downright weird. My sister has a dog with a distinctive lip curl. A lip curl that we thought looked considerably like the lip curl our deceased grandmother had. One day we were hanging out at my sister's apartment, and the dog was curled up in her basket in front of us. I noticed the lip curl and jokingly asked if my sister thought our grandmother might have been reincarnated into our pet. We both laughed, but then the dog suddenly looked up, and the look on her face was downright weird. She was kind of tilting her head back and peering at us. Even my sister, who lives with her, said she'd never made that face before. But we just laughed it off, and my sister asked in a very not serious voice, "Can you give us a sign that you're really our grandmother?" The dog looked out the window at the bush outside, and my sister said, "Imagine if a robin landed on that bush right now." Robins were our grandmother's favorite bird. She absolutely loved them and had everything from ceramic robin teacups to robin pattern napkins and back again. After that, we pretty much thought about it until my sister came home from work one day to find a nest of baby robins in the bush right outside her window. The exact same bush her dog had looked straight at that day. A bush that would be somewhat strange for a robin to choose for nesting, as robins are solitary creatures and this particular bush is right next to a bustling apartment complex. It might all just be an amusing coincidence, but to be honest, I've never been a big believer in coincidences. amusing or not. Oh, well, that one's kind of sweet because the robins were her grandmother's favorite bird. That one was kind of sweet. Well, it's good to end it on a happy note. Alright. Well, that's the end of this reading scary ghost stories. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up so I know. And leave me a comment of any stories that you want me to read, whether they be on Reddit or anything. My nose itches again. But, leave a... Well, I already told you, leave me a like. Please follow all my social media down below, and I will see you all on Thursday Challenge Day. I need some suggestions. Thanks, bye.